Hello friends, today we are going to see marble diagram. So marble diagram is very important concept in RxJS. So before we see about operators, it is very important to understand what is marble diagram, because for every operators we will have a marble diagram to understand what the operator is actually doing. So by the end of this session you will completely understand what is marble diagram, and you can develop your own marble diagram based on your project requirements and implementations. So what is marble diagram? So marble diagram is a timeline representation of observable sequence and executions. In observable we are dealing with the time. So whenever we deal with time, it will be very helpful when we visualize things. To visualize the timeline, we are going to use marble diagrams. So why we are dealing with time? In the next section, I am going to give small recap of what is observable. By seeing that, you will know why we are talking about time here. First, we will see the definition of observable. So observable is a lazy push collection of multiple values. And another definition is it can return synchronous or asynchronous value from 0 to potentially infinite value from time it is invoked. So each and every word in this definition has one meaning, like what is lazy push collection, why it is returning multiple values, what is synchronous, what is asynchronous. So everything, no, we have covered everything in detail in previous video. Again I am going to explain some part in upcoming pen and note section. So I will explain everything in detail with marble diagram, so it will stick to your mind. So you will not forget soon. Okay, we will go to pen and pad session. Now we will see marble diagram in RxJS with example. So here you will see the straight line. So this straight line represents the passage of time. You can compare it with some timeline. So this timeline can be your lifetime also, like you are born here and you will have some life events, like first time you walk, first time you go to school, first time you go to college, you get married, then finally over, dead. So similarly this observable is also having some life cycle. So this life cycle starts when it got subscribed. So that is the definition for our marble diagram. Marble diagram is useful to represent state of observable during the execution. So this is the execution phase. So this is where the observable gets started. So execution of observable get started, and this is where the execution of observable stops. So as I told, this is where the execution stops. So this vertical line represents the end of observable. Okay, and these circles are marbles. Those marbles are the emitted values emitted by the observables. This can be any value, like some string, some object, some number, or some boolean values also. It can be anything. Sometimes it can be some clicky events also. So over the period of time we will get many values. To know when and what value gets emitted, you can use this marble diagram. Okay, and if something happens, like if some execution error happens, we can represent it by cross sign. So this cross sign represents some error, like end of observable. We will not expect any values after the error also. So after the error, observable will not give any value. Similarly, after the end of observable, like subscription gets completed, you will not get any value from the observable. Now we will cover the other topics. So as I already told, so observable is the lazy push collection of multiple values. So this observable is push system, not the pull system. So push system, we will see the difference what is push and pull, and it is also emitting multiple values. We will see one by one. So as I already told, the straight line represents the passage of time. This marble represents the emitted values, and this vertical line represents the end of observables. So we have two players like producer and consumer. Producer is who produces the data and consumer is who consumes the data. So if you see here, producer produces the data over a period of time. Like first it is emitting 1 and 2 and 3, and consumer consuming the same data without doing any operations between them. But we can do some operations between producer and consumers. That's where we are going to use many operators. So the operators are the most useful features in RxJS. So there is one saying like RxJS is Lodash of events. So we all know Lodash is a library with many JavaScript functions to play over objects, string, and many things. Similarly, with the operators, we can play over events. So we have many operators. For example, we have map, filter, and delay. This map and filter we already saw in JavaScript array methods. It is also performing same as that. Like with the map, I can do some operation over the values, emitted values. For example, if I like to multiply 2 with every emitted value, I can do it with map operator. So if I have a map operator here with a callback function to multiply 2 with all the emitted numbers, I will get different value in the consumer. Here I will get 2 and 2 into 2 4, and here I will get 6. So this is map operator. In filter operator, you can filter some values also. If I want to get only numbers less than 4, I can add another operator after map operator. So here only 2 and 4 will be consumed. 6 will be filtered by the filter operator. So I will not get 6. So now we will see the definition for producer and consumer. So as I told, producer produces the data and consumer consumes the data. But when we will call push system will say this is a push system when producer decides when to send the data. Here producer decides when to send the data. So we are calling this as push system. Okay, we have pull system also. So normal JavaScript function is a pull system. So in JavaScript we have function definition. Okay, inside the function definition we will return some value. The consumer is just we are calling that function. Okay, so this is the consumer and this is the producer. Here consumer decides when to get the data, not the producer decides the time to send the data. So here data flow is different, like only the consumer decides when to get the data from the producer. So only normal functions are pull system and observable is push system. So here promise is also a push system, but it will send only one value, but observable will send multiple values. So only we are calling observable as lazy push collection of multiple values. In the next videos, we are going to see many operators in the simple way, so you will not forget in the future. If this content is useful, please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. Thank you. Thanks for the support.